My name is Rebecca and I'm the whole school chaplain at Epworth School. I work primarily with teenage girls, and so I want to share some statistics with you today that really impacts young women in our country. I mean, women of all ages, but they impact the women that I deal with on a daily basis. And the first statistic is around access to menstrual hygiene products. So the statistics tell us that approximately 7 million girls in South Africa miss school every single month because of a lack of access to sanitary pads. And so that's 25% of the education time that is being missed as a result of them not having access to the products that they need. Secondly, South Africa has the highest rate of femicide in the world. In fact, the rate of femicide in South Africa is 5 times the global average. And maybe what's even more disturbing is that in South Africa, you're more likely as a woman to be murdered by your intimate partner than you are by a complete stranger. So when we look at a femicide rate, 6 out of 10 of those women are murdered by somebody that they knew and loved. And then men who are surveyed, a staggering 20% of them admit to having committed some kind of physical or sexual violence against a woman. And that just really highlights how pervasive gender-based violence still is in our country. And then men and women surveyed, only 62% of them believe that it's never justifiable for a man to beat his wife. And so the converse of that is that 38% of people implicitly or explicitly condone some form of domestic abuse. And sadly, we don't see different figures in the church. In fact, it's often in church circles that these kinds of attitudes are condoned. These statistics are pretty sobering, but they're the reality for many young women in our country and many young women in the schools in which we work. What does the Bible have to say to all of this? I want to share with you a passage from Luke chapter 13. It's the story of Jesus healing on the Sabbath day. And it says that Jesus was teaching in one of the meeting places on the Sabbath. And there was a woman who was present there who was so twisted and bent over with arthritis that she couldn't even look up. And she'd been afflicted with this for 18 years. When Jesus sees her, he calls her over and he says to her, "Woman, you are free." And then he lays hands on her, and suddenly she's able to stand up tall, giving glory to God. When we read this passage in the English, we can sometimes miss the depth of that exchange. When we go and look at the original Greek in which it was written, that word woman that Jesus uses, the Greek word is the word gyne. And it is a word that holds incredible respect and honor. In fact, it's a word that often husbands would use to refer to their wife, a term of endearment, like we would say, darling. In Greek poetry and plays, it was a term used to address a queen or a goddess. And so when Jesus uses this word, "Woman, you are free," he's really saying to her, "Beloved, honored, worthy, you are free." And I think that's such a powerful message for so many women in our country who are facing the challenges that I spoke about earlier. That Jesus offers them this beautiful invitation. Beloved, you who are worthy, you are free.